first things first, what I took away from the game is that Wichita State was the real deal. They were worthy of being the #1 seed. We understood why they were 34-0 coming into the game. This kid, Clay Anthony, early. I mean, this dude is special. I'm going to tell you that right now. I haven't had an opportunity to watch a full game for these boys all year long, but some of the shots this dude was making, the way he was creating space for himself, the way he knows how to play the game of basketball, his size, his athleticism, his jump shooting ability, it was just pure. It was special, and I see special written all over this dude, his future on the next level, which will be the NBA. But I got to give a lot of credit to Kentucky. I got to give a lot of credit to Coach John Calipari, who talks the talk and walks the walk. The Harrison twins were balling. Their point guard Harrison was going to create problems for Wichita State all day long because Van Fleet was simply too small for him. He could get to the rim anytime he pretty much wanted to, and he was making things happen earlier on. Julius Randle, he's got skills. He's a 7-footer, needs to make sure that motor is constant, needs to get a bit better being ambidextrous, but his skills are there. There's no doubt about it. To me, it was the best college basketball game I've seen in quite some time. Clearly the best game I've seen all year. They were going nip and tuck, back and forth. But in the end, what it comes down to is that the Kentucky Wildcats, that big-time recruiting class that they had, these young kids not only have a lot of talent, they got a lot of heart. They're not scared of anybody. They've got a lot of poise. What you have to worry about with them is when they're going against somebody who's obviously considered inferior competition because they tend to play down to their competition just as well as they play up to their competition. But as long as there's a big-time opponent in front of them and they're not necessarily considered the favorite, they're going to rise to the occasion, and that's what they did last night. My last point about that, Skip, is that near the end of the game, and I have loads of respect and credit for Coach Marshall for Wichita State. He's done an outstanding job. I think he's a sensational coach. I think he's done a fabulous job. My only caveat, my only question mark was that you could have pushed the ball up the floor without calling a timeout. By calling a timeout, you gave Kentucky an opportunity to set its defense and to keep the ball out of the hands of Baker and Early. Had you pushed the ball up the floor and left Kentucky's defenders looking and searching for where those guys were, you might have had a better opportunity to get the ball in one of their hands in those waning few seconds left, as opposed to Van Vliet just launching a desperation three-pointer. Because I believe if Early had got the ball in his hands, it would have either gone to overtime or Wichita State would have advanced to the Sweet 16. That's just how I feel about it because I think Early was just that special.
I hear what you're saying, but I remind you, and I did get to watch them a number of times both this year and last year, Fred Van Vliet was a 40% three-point shooter. He has been the guts of that team for the last 2 years. I didn't have a problem with him getting the last shot. Even though it was pretty well defended, he had a decent look to me. He just flat out missed it to the right. So, look, I'm with you. Congratulations to Wichita State. Stephen A. Smith, are you ashamed that you picked them to win it all? Because I'm not ashamed for you. I thought it was an inspired pick. I'm not ashamed that I picked them to get through this bracket of doom that they were stuck in to get to the Final Four. I want to congratulate them on an all-time great run. But I also want to congratulate both teams, as you did, on playing a great college basketball game. Played at a high level by a whole bunch of guys I think we're going to see play pro basketball. And Stephen A., John Calipari said that the winner of this game deserved at least to get to the Final Four. I would suggest to you this morning, we might look back on this game when all is said and done. Might look back as this was the national championship game we saw yesterday afternoon. And big picture, Stephen A., I do want to make the point in defense of my pick of Wichita State, and you talked about Van Vliet. You realize he got in classic March Madness foul trouble early in the second half. It's why I don't like the tournament format. I don't like only 5 fouls. I like 6 fouls that the NBA gives. Van Vliet had to tiptoe through the rest of the second half. He was disrupting the Harrisons early on. Andrew had 6 turnovers. So let's put it in perspective. They were the ones who got the bad break on the fouls. Now, back to Coach Cal. you mentioned him. I'm going to laud him today because remember when Kentucky hit bottom and we did a topic on the show, maybe early March. It was the March 1st game at South Carolina. Cal got thrown out of the game, yanked his shirt tail out underneath his suit coat, and wouldn't talk to the media after the game. And I defended him saying, I think he's just trying to unify his team by ripping his team and bringing it to a boil. Well, right before your very eyes, Kentucky has grown up. We all thought they were the most talented team to start the year. I think we all agreed entering this tournament they were the most talented team, but I thought they hadn't yet grown up. And the flashpoint moment to me, Stephen A., yesterday in this game, 4:33 left. The guy you raved about, Clay Anthony, nails another three to give Wichita State a 69-64 lead. I thought that was the moment the Kentucky kids, and they do start 5 freshmen, I thought they would mentally fold. They did not. How about James Young? He's the unheralded freshman. He doesn't get much the shine that the Harrisons and Julius Randle get. James Young hit 2 huge jump shots, including the second one, a big 3, to keep them back in front in that game. And then the Harrisons and Julius Randle kept going right to the free throw line and showing me veteran poise, making dagger after dagger free throw in that game. So I'm looking at this team. If it has, in fact, come to a boil, I'm not sure anybody's going to be able to beat them from here on, Stephen A.